Yes, you can make money writing a book, but not in the ways that you might have thought. I'm going to show you many ways you can make money from your book, whether you're a fiction writer or a nonfiction writer, but specifically, mostly for nonfiction. Plus, I'll show you an interesting return on investment calculator to see if it's really worthwhile to write a book. Hi, I'm Dan Janelle, the author of more than a dozen books, including Write Your Book in a Flash. I'm a book coach, developmental editor, and ghostwriter, and no matter where you are in the writing process, I can help you write your book. So let's get down to the basic facts. How can you make money with your book? Well, the obvious way, the way you're probably thinking, is to sell your book. That's right. You can make money by selling your book. But here's some real facts you need to take into account. Number one, most books, on the average, sell less than 500 copies. So if you're selling your book for, say, $20 a piece, if you're self-published, that's about $10,000. That would basically cover your cost of producing the book, that is copy editing, proofreading, layout, design, cover design, and all that good stuff, plus the cost of hiring a book coach or developmental editor or someone else to help you get through the whole process. So you can break even if you sell 500 copies of your book. Now, if you're selling through Amazon, they're going to take a percentage of that money. It's up to you to negotiate with them. They have their set fees based on a number of different factors. But of the $20 for the book, you're not going to keep all $20. Yeah. So you have to find other ways to make money from your book. Now, if you're a fiction writer, the good news is if you write a series of books, you're going to make money. Why? Because people like the first book, they're going to buy the second book, they'll buy the third book, they'll buy the 27th book, and you'll make money for a long, 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 long time. One strategy that I've seen fiction writers use is to give the first book away for free, or maybe even the first 3 books away for free to hook them on your characters and your stories and your writing style. That's something to consider. Okay, so we've talked about making money from your book, but there are more ways to make money just from selling your printed book. There's an audiobook. Lots of people like to listen to books while they walk, while they jog, while they work out, while they drive to work, while they're driving in the car. So you definitely need to have an audiobook. Now, you could create your own audiobook if you buy lots of expensive equipment and are in a soundproof room and you know all the specifications that to make it sound really, really good. And frankly, it's not worth it. It'll take you a lot of time, a lot more time than you ever would have thought. So you can hire someone to read the book for you. I recommend Robert Plank and his wife. They both charge a flat fee of $500 to read a book of any length. It's quite a deal. You could spend a lot more if you went out into the marketplace and tried to hire someone. I have their information in the show notes below. So you can make a lot of money selling audiobooks today. Don't overlook that. What else can you do? Turn those nonfiction books into workbooks. Now you have a product that you can sell when you speak or when you consult or when you work with companies. So you're teaching people how to take your information and make it their own. So workbooks are a great way to make additional sources of revenue. You can sell your book directly to libraries, which is also a wonderful way to make money from books. So if your book has wide appeal, librarians will want to buy your book. So it's another avenue beyond bookstores. You can also sell into foreign markets. Yes, there are foreign companies that will take your book, translate it into their language, and pay you a royalty for that. I have a reference to Jill Lublin, who specializes in foreign rights sales, and you'll find her information in the show notes below. You can also sell in volume to corporations and associations. Again, this is a specialized field. You need to have someone who has contacts, connections, and knows how to negotiate these terms, and also knows the various formats that corporations like to see the books presented in. And I recommend Brian Judd for that, and his information is in the show notes as well. These are all people that I trust and respect. They've been doing this for a very long time. They will take very, very good care of you. Just mention that I referred you to them, so they'll treat you specially, because they probably get lots of emails from tire kickers and people who aren't very serious. When I give the people a recommendation, they'll get back to you very, very quickly. So that's cool. Okay, now let's look at other ways you can make money from your book, because frankly, there's only so much money you can make from a book, but you can make a lot more money doing other things. And I'm referring to speaking, coaching, and consulting. When you do any of those events, you can immediately make more money. First of all, you can double or even triple your fees after you've written a book. Why? Because now you are the authority. People see you as the expert. You're not just some person claiming to be able to help someone. You're the person who wrote the book on that topic. So now people respect you more. You can charge more. And frankly, if you're a speaker, you must have a book. You will not get hired if you do not have a book, because everyone you're competing against for that speaking slot has written a book. And if you don't have a book, the meeting planner is just going to cross your name off the list on their first pass. It just happens. So you can raise your fees, you can raise your speaking fees, you can raise your coaching fees and consulting fees, which is all cool. How else can you make money? Well, when you're speaking at those events, you can sell your books beforehand to the meeting planner. Now, sometimes they're going to want to buy your book right at the outset. They want to buy books. Other times, you need to convince them to buy your book. They may say, oh, we only have so much money for a speaking fee, and you're eating it all up. And between you and our other speakers, we just don't have any money left. At that point, don't give up. Here's a secret tip. Ask them, do you have an educational budget or a training budget? And chances are they do. Now they can buy your book and your workbook out of their training and education budgets. Now you can make some serious money doing that. Very, very good. So you can make money from your book before you speak. You want these deals in place before you speak. Now, sometimes they won't buy your book beforehand, but they will allow you to sell your book at the event. We call those back of the room sales. So you can bring several dozens or hundreds of copies of your book with you, depending on the size of the audience, and let people know that your book is available for purchase in the back of the room. Some associations will even have a bookstore where any of the speakers can post their books, and the association will handle all the sales for you. So ask them if that's an opportunity as well. Now, sometimes meeting planners get really antsy about speakers who want to sell from the platform. Generally speaking, they don't want you to do that. They want you to deliver a full hour of content or 45 minutes or whatever the term is. They want you to deliver, deliver, deliver. And if you don't, they'll get negative feedback from their audience members, which is the kiss of death. So they will tell you, do not sell from the platform. And that's okay. You're there. They're paying you to speak. They're giving you an opportunity. They're giving you publicity and promotion. They're giving you exposure. Don't violate that trust. However, there are a couple of ways you can still make some sales of your books and your speaking, coaching, and consulting services without being salesy. How? They will allow you to give handouts. These could be your notes. They could be your slides. And on those handouts, you would have information on how people can contact you. For instance, your website. You can let people know the services you provide, because they may not intuitively know that you're a speaker, coach, or consultant unless you tell them. So on your handout, you can have a bio of who you are and all the wonderful things you've done, and a list of the services that you provide and the contact information, so they can take the next step to talk with you or your staff, so they can hire you for any of those services. That's completely legitimate. You might want to ask the meeting planner in advance just to make sure that they are okay with it. Chances are they are, because it's seen as a value add. Next, you can give out an evaluation form. The evaluation form does ask them what they liked about your presentation, what they're going to implement from your presentation, whether they would like to hire you internally to do coaching, consulting, or speaking. You can also ask them if they know someone else in their organization or outside their organization who might be in a position to benefit from your services, and ask them to put their name, email address, and phone, and whether they can list you as a reference. Those are clever ways that speakers have used evaluation forms in order to get new business. I promised you a return on investment calculator to see whether it's worth it to write a book or not. Here it is. Here's the grand finale. Figure out how much it costs you to create your book. It could be $10,000, $20,000, $30,000 before it's all done. Okay, so let's say it is $30,000. Ask yourself, what is the lifetime value of a customer for me? Because the whole purpose of the book is really to get a customer who can buy your speaking, coaching, or consulting services. Those are the high price ticket items. You won't get rich selling a $20 book. You will get rich selling $5, $10, $15, $20, and $50,000 programs, guaranteed. Okay, so ask yourself, what is the lifetime value of a client? Let's say it's $5,000. If the book costs you $30,000 to produce, how many clients would you need to break even? The answer is easy. It's 6. You simply divide the cost of the book by the lifetime value of the client to get the number that shows you how many clients you need or how many sales you need to make in order to make your money back. So in this example, if the book costs $30,000 to produce and your lifetime value of a client is $5,000, you would need 6 clients to break even. Let's say the lifetime value of a client for you was $10,000. You would need to find 3 new clients to break even. Let's say the lifetime value of a client for you is $100,000. And one of my clients who teaches people how to flip houses says that a lifetime value client for him is $100,000. Well, if it costs $30,000 to write a book, then you're making your money back on the very first sale. So look at that return on investment calculator to determine how financially feasible it is for you to write that book and how long it will take you to make your money back and make a profit from your book. Because once you have that book, you can sell it today, tomorrow, next month, next year, and the next decade. You can continually make money from your book. You can simply just keep on adding more and more lifetime value clients to the sale of your book, and you'll make a ton of money on your book. On our next video, you can find out the expenses you can expect to incur when you're writing your book, so you won't get taken to the cleaners. I'll show you ways to save money when you're writing your book on that next video.